And welcome back to the show. The Swim with Mike event's now in its 29th year as a fundraiser that provides scholarships to physically challenged college students across the country. This event got its name from the man joining us on the phone right now from Los Angeles, Mike Nyeholt. Welcome to the Morning Swim Show.
Thank you, Peter. Happy to be here.
Glad to have you, Mike. Please give us the history, your personal history, and how it eventually led to this great event.
Well, my personal history. Well, I guess we'll start. I was a swimmer at USC from '74 to '78. I graduated in 1978, and was out amongst the working class folks, doing a little bit of recreational things. And I was dirt biking down at the Colorado River, and had an unfortunate accident, which I broke my neck, so it left me paralyzed from the waist down, unable to move. And luckily, I had tremendous support from my great friends and swimming teammates, Ron Orr in particular, who decided to, while I was in the hospital trying to recover from this accident, and by recover I say just be able to get out of the hospital because I was paralyzed from the chest down. Ron Orr came into the hospital one day and told me that he was organizing an event called Swim for Mike, which was going to help raise money to help me with medical expenses. And ultimately what it did was it bought me a van that I could use to drive around. I went out to the event. They raised about $64,000 that day, which was just incredible. And it was all from, family and friends and former swimmers. They raised all this money, and I said, God, I was just overwhelmed with emotion. And I said, to the folks that were there that day that I wasn't going to let this injury keep me down, that I would be swimming again one day. I also made a comment that, maybe we should take the money that we weren't going to be using for me because they had raised so much money and put it into a scholarship fund. And Ron Orr jumped on both of those ideas and said, well, we did Swim for Mike, and now we're going to do Swim with Mike. And we've been doing it for the last 29 years.
So is that... it was born out of the same idea, was Swim with Mike because you were able to progress to the point where you could actually get back in the water?
It became Swim with Mike because, yes, every year since that very first event, Swim for Mike, I've been in the water swimming links and raising money to help other physically challenged kids get back to college and get educations.
Wow, that must have meant a ton to you, for them to come together for that, and it probably still means a lot, 29 years later, to know how it all started.
Well, yeah, it's it was a tremendous outpouring of support, and at the time it was all family and friends that were trying to help me overcome just a tremendous accident. That when you have one of those accidents and all of a sudden you're not able to do the things that you could do before, you need that kind of support. So it helped a lot, and from that event, so many good things have happened. It's really helped me with my ongoing recovery, if you will. I mean, I'm still using a wheelchair and crutches to move around, but emotionally, I get so much strength from the event because we have raised. We will this year with this year's events, we will have raised over $9 million. In the years that we've been doing this, we've got 33 kids on scholarship right now at 18 universities around the country. And boy, you don't want to let these kids down, so you continue to move forward with your own life.
Yeah, we're looking at some of the scholarship winners right now. Do you get to meet them? Have they ever actually been to the event, or do they even like swimming?
Well, you know what? They do come from all different backgrounds, but yes, luckily for me, the event really started strictly based at the University of Southern California. We get a tremendous amount of support from USC and from the student body and the athletic department there. And up until about six or 7 years ago, I'm not sure exactly when, it was strictly based at USC. So, I did get an opportunity to meet all of the recipients. And now that we've branched out, a lot of the recipients come out to the USC event, if they can get away from school, if they're on break, and they can come out and do that. But I've also had the opportunity to run into, some of the recipients at other places. I've been out to this Swim with Mike Hawaii event, met some of the recipients out there. I was actually back in the Hamptons last year and just happened to run into a young kid at a club who was in a wheelchair, and I thought, boy, this would make a perfect candidate because I knew friends that knew him, and they introduced us, and we started talking, and I go, wait a second, that name sounds familiar. I go, have you heard of Swim with Mike? He goes, well, I'm on the Swim with Mike scholarship.
That's
so
great.
just, all the way across the country in New York, out in Long Island, I met one of our recipients. So it was Taylor Price. So it's a neat deal. He's at Georgetown right now, and I spoke to him on the phone yesterday. He and a bunch of his friends and family had raised $27,000 for this year's event. So it's it's a neat deal. You kind of run into folks all over the place.
That's a great story. Well, Mike, actually, we're going to take a quick break, say goodbye to you, and Ron Orr is going to join us right after the break. So, Mike, thank you very much, and good luck tomorrow.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. And tell Ron good luck.
All right, we'll take that quick break. When we come back, we'll talk to Ron Orr, the man who came up with the idea for the Swim with Mike fundraiser.